A Yorkshire Childhood, Chapter 23, An Old Cabin. They found an old cabin with a swinging door. They pushed it aside and sat on the yellowing newspapers on the floor, listening to the rain hitting the roof like 100 drummers. After 10 minutes, the rain began to slow. They became aware of a rustling sound in the corner. There was an old wooden chair and a small slot in the wall like a letterbox for someone to peek through. And the fresh smell of the leaves, wet with rain, drifted scent-like. "What's that for?" said Josh. "Bird watching," said Tom. "For people with binoculars. People sit here for hours, waiting and waiting for something to happen," he added. It sounded very boring. The rustling sound continued until their eyes rested on a tail, and then a paw. "It's a dog," said Josh, surprised and amazed, and sure enough it was, a little Jack Russell with a black patch over its eye. "He's lovely," said Josh, and he stroked the dog's head. The dog didn't turn away, he seemed happy to be touched. His coat was dirty and he looked undernourished. Apart from that, he looked happy. "Can we have him?" Josh asked hopefully. "It doesn't look like he belongs to anyone," said Tom. "It looks like he's just been dumped here," he added sadly. "There was no blankets for him and no bowl for his food." "We'll have to fatten him up when we get home," said Tom. He unhooked his belt and wound it through the dog's collar. "What should we call him, Dad?" said Josh. "Well, if it's a boy, how about," he thought aloud. He looked at the little dog again and was again struck by the black patch over its eye. "Patch," he said. "Great name," said Josh, and he patted its head again, and the newly christened Patch gave a loud bark of recognition. They ventured out into the woods as the rain stopped. Tom looked at the trees and saw a vivid rainbow in the sky. "That's a good omen," he thought. "Look at that," he said to Josh. "Wow," said Josh, amazed at the brightness of the colours. "It looks newly painted." The colours were so vivid that they took your breath away. They crunched on through the woods with Patch at their feet. "We'll get him home soon," said Tom. "He needs a good meal." Patch's tail wagged wildly. It's probably the first walk he's had for ages," said Tom, as they watched his little legs pad through the foliage. A squirrel ran out in front of them and scampered up a tree. Patch ran after it, his tail wagging even more furiously. He was certainly enjoying himself.